Alright everyone, let's get started with our lower body mobility flow. Over the next 18 minutes, I'm going to help you improve your flexibility and strength in your lower body. So we're going to start off with 3 minutes of a general warm-up just to get our core temperature up a little bit and to get us a little bit looser. After that, we're going to spend about 8 to 10 minutes working on flexibility stretches. And then we're going to finish with 5 minutes of activation work to help us build more strength in those end ranges. So we're going to kick things off with body weight squats. So we're going to run through each of these exercises for 1 minute. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and take it away. So all I want you to do is squat down as low as you possibly can. Just try and keep your feet flat on the floor. And stand. Doing great, guys. We're halfway there. Let's try to really focus on driving those knees out and keeping our chest up as we go into the bottom of this squat. We're almost there. 15 seconds left. Brilliant, guys, and shake it out. All right, for this next piece, it's going to be a push-up position. I want you to lunge up your foot beside your hand, and then we're going to simply step back and switch. Let's just try to keep moving through this for the full minute. Now, if you're finding this quite easy, try to really think about driving your knee out and pushing your hips down every time we step into this piece. Great, guys, great work. We're halfway there. As we think about pushing our hips down, we also want to think about pulling our chest in the opposite direction, pulling it towards the roof. 15 seconds left. Nice work, guys. All right, we're going to stay in a push-up position. For this next piece, we're doing down dog pulses. So we're going to push our hips to the sky, try and get our heels to the floor, and then just push your chest in and out. Try and open up these shoulders and hamstrings. Now, if you want a slightly deeper stretch, I want you to think about pulling your knees up, trying to squeeze your quads, and you shoot for the deeper stretch down through the back of the legs. We're almost there, guys. Try to get a little bit more range with your shoulders. We have 15 seconds left. And well done, guys. That is our 3-minute warm-up. We should now be ready for our flexibility. For the first stretch, we need to be seated on the floor, legs straight out in front, ideally toes pointing towards the ceiling. From here, all I want you to take a big deep breath in, reach up to the sky, and as we exhale, we're going to fold forward until we can touch our knees, or shins, or toes. Once we're here, we're going to focus on our breathing. Every time we exhale, we're going to try to drop our chest a little bit lower. We're going to try to walk those hands down a little bit further. So let's just take a moment, dial in big deep breaths. A few seconds in through the nose. Breathe out as slow as you can through the mouth. Doing great, guys. We're halfway there. Final 10 seconds. And great work, guys. All right, slowly come out of that. I want you to spread your legs nice and wide. Have your toes pointing up. Once again, take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to fold from the hip, try to go forward as far as we can. So let's try and get a marker on the floor. And every time we breathe out, we're going to try to reach towards that marker. Great, great, guys. Just focus on the breath. We're halfway there at this point. We're almost there. We're going to go 10 more seconds. And slowly pull yourself out of that. Okay, for this next stretch, we're going to need to be on our knees. So I want you to flip into a kneeling position. From here, we want to make sure that the hips are starting over the knees. We're going to kick one leg out to the side. Kick it out as far as we can. Ensure that the leg stays straight. This other leg, we're actually going to throw our foot out, away from this foot. From here, we're going to try to sit our butt back as far as we can and take a nice deep stretch in the inner thigh. And we're just going to stay here for a full minute. Halfway there. Doing great, guys, with 20 seconds to go. All right, guys, slowly come out of that. Bring the leg in gently. Shake it out. Now we're going to do the other side. So kick the foot out to the side. Kick this back leg out in the opposite direction. And from here, once again, let's sit our hips back. Breathe into it. We're almost there, guys. 30 seconds to go. Just keep focusing on your breath. Great work, guys. All right, slowly come out of that. So for the next piece, we're going to be working on our quads. So I want you seated on your butt. You're going to have one leg out in front, and this other leg, we're going to tuck it into the side of your body. Now, ideally we want the laces facing down towards the floor, but if that's sore in your ankle at all, you can just turn your toe out to the side like this. And from this position, you're simply going to lean back. You can lean back onto your hands, onto your elbows, or we go the whole way down to the floor. We're just going to spend a minute here. If you're on this floor position, try to keep your rib cage tucked down so we're not arching our back excessively. Doing great, guys. We're halfway there. Final 10 seconds. Okay, guys, we're going to slowly come out of that, very gently. We're going to untuck the knee, and let's do the other side. So once again, we're going to have one leg out straight in front. We're going to tuck the other foot in. We can go for laces down or laces out to the side. And then just gently ease yourself back onto your elbows if you can. Or let's go the whole way to the floor. Now, as we hold this stretch, we're going to try and rotate our hips towards this foot to make it a little bit more intense. And then from there, try and rest your head on the floor if you can make it down this far. And just breathe into it. Halfway there. Last 10 seconds. Try and get a little bit lower, a little bit more comfortable. Alright guys, slowly come out of that. Now we're going to go into a slightly easier stretch for this next piece. We're going to need to be on our knees. Now from a kneeling position, we want your toes touching, your laces facing down. We're going to sit up tall. All I want you to do is sit your butt back towards your feet. Ideally, we should be able to touch our knees if we have good mobility in the knees. And if you have good mobility in your ankles, you should be able to get your shins in full contact with the floor. So the goal here is being unable to get your hands underneath your shins. And all we're going to try and do is just relax and hang out here. If this is a little bit painful, we can simply assist ourselves with our hands until we get used to kind of the stress that we feel up the front of the leg. Try to relax. Once again, focus on our breathing. We're halfway there at this point. We're doing great. And the final 10 seconds. Perfect, guys. Alright, I want you to slowly come out of that and we have one more stretch for you. So in this next piece, we're on our knees again, but we're going to try and spread our knees as wide as we can. Once we're here, I want you to kick your feet out wider than your knees. And then all we're going to do is slowly push our hips back and try and get our hips back as far as we can. You can rest on your hands or you can rest on your elbows, whatever feels most comfortable, but we should be feeling this in our groin. Alright, this is a really deep groin stretch. Doing great, guys. We're halfway there. Ten seconds. And time. Alright guys, well done. We got through our flexibility piece. Now we're ready to start our activation. Alright guys, so we have 5 minutes of activation work and then we are finished our first lower body mobility flow. So once again, we're going to do these exercises for a minute each. We're going to begin with an air squat hold. So we just want to take a squat stance that's comfortable for you. I want you to squat down. Now we're going to try to not slouch, we're going to try to stay in an active position, and we're going to stay here for 60 seconds. Now while we're here, just making sure our feet are flat on the floor. And then when we can start thinking about pushing our knees out, pulling our chest up, and trying to just keep all those muscles in the lower body fired up. "40 seconds. Try to fight for good positions here, so constantly think about keeping the chest up and knees out. We have 30 seconds. So guys, we're almost there. Embrace the burn. I know this is tough. We have 20 seconds. 15. 10. Let's push those knees out a little bit harder. Let's pull that chest up a little bit more. We're in the final 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and stand up, and you can shake out those legs. Okay, for this next piece, we're going to be lying on our side. So we're going to drop down onto your shoulder. This arm that we're lying on can just stay flat and relaxed. We're going to place the other hand on our hip. And from here, for 1 minute, all we're going to do is lift the foot up and down. So we're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and take it away. Now we don't want the feet to make contact. We don't want to think about fast reps. Instead, we're just going for a slow burn. And as we go through this movement, let's try to ensure that our toes are going to point straight ahead or point them down slightly. That's going to ensure that we're working our glutes forward. Good. Take a nice controlled movement. 30 seconds, we're there. Try to keep your leg as straight as you can as we do this. We're in the last 20 seconds now. 15, we should get a nice burning sensation on the outside of our butt or on the outside of our hip. 10 seconds to go. And time. Great work, guys. All right, let's flip around. Let's switch sides. And we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go. Let's lift that leg. Keep the toes pointing straight ahead, if not down towards the floor. You might find one leg a little bit more endurance than the other. All right, one leg might burn a little bit more. It's absolutely normal. It's nothing to worry about. But we do want to work on it. Halfway there at this point. Let's try to think about slowing it down and getting as much height as we can. 20 seconds. Guys, I'm feeling the burn here as well, alright? Just stay with it. We're almost there. 10 seconds, we'll get a rest. 5. And time, alright guys. Take a rest. We've only one more exercise left, and we're going to do each leg. So we're going to lie on our back. From here, make sure you can touch your heels with your fingers. Alright? One leg, we're going to kick it up towards the roof, and we're going to hold it there. With the leg that's on the floor, I want you to push your hips up to the sky, push your heel into the floor, and we're going to stay here for 60 seconds. Now, as we do this, try to rest your head on the ground. Think about applying as much pressure through your foot as you possibly can, and keep your hips up. That's it, guys. We're doing great. We are halfway there. As you get tired, you're going to notice your hips are starting to sag. So once again, let's check in, make sure they're as high as we can go. 20 seconds. 15. 10. Alright guys, as high as you can. Just push that heel down. Push, 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 push. Last 5. Perfect. And take a rest. Alright guys, both heels on the floor. Let's check in with that foot position again. Make sure we can touch the heels. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and up. So make sure only this heel is on the floor. We're not pushing through the full foot. Really clench those butt cheeks. Once again, like the leg lifts, you might notice one side is a little bit stronger than the other. That's okay. Simple wee drills like this will help build and even out your strength and balances. We're halfway there at this point. Let's check in again with the height of the hips. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. 20 seconds. Right guys, just really focus on pushing through the floor. 15. 10. 5. And time. Whew, that burns. Alright guys, that is our lower body mobility flow. We hope you enjoyed it and we hope you see me again.